Hello and welcome back to Nighttime Mics. I'm Mike, and as always, I am super excited to be here with you today. How's it going, Sarah?
Hi, Mike. I'm doing great, thanks. I'm actually really happy to be here because I've been looking forward to today's topic all week. It's something that affects literally everyone I know.
Oh, absolutely. Today, we are diving into the world of digital etiquette, or as some people call it, netiquette. Basically, how to be polite and distinct on the internet, on your phone, and in emails.
Exactly. It's funny because we spend so much time online, but nobody really teaches us the rules, right? We just have to figure it out as we go.
That is so true. I mean, think about it. 10 years ago, we didn't have to worry about whether an emoji was appropriate for a work email. Now, it's a daily struggle.
Totally. So to kick things off, let's talk about something we all do every single day: text messaging. Mike, answer me honestly. Are you a reply immediately kind of person, or do you take your time?
Oh, wow, you are putting me on the spot right away. Okay, honestly, I am terrible. I am the guy who sees a message, reads it in the notification bar, and then tells myself, I'll reply later. And then I forget.
No way. You're one of those people? That drives me crazy.
I know, I'm sorry, but hear me out. Sometimes I'm just busy or I don't have the energy to have a full conversation right at that moment. Is that really so bad?
I get it, sort of. But here's the thing. If you read the message and I see the read receipt, those little blue ticks, and you don't reply for 3 days, that feels rude. It feels like you're ignoring me.
The dreaded blue ticks. That's a good point. I actually turned my read receipts off years ago for that exact reason. I didn't want people to know when I saw their messages. It takes the pressure off.
That's actually a smart move. If I don't know you've seen it, I can just pretend you are busy saving the world or something. But let's talk about ghosting. Have you ever been ghosted?
Oh, for sure. For our listeners who might not know, ghosting is when someone you are talking to just disappears completely. No explanation, no goodbye, just silence. It stings.
It really does. I think that is the #1 rule of digital etiquette. Don't disappear. If you don't want to talk to someone, just say, hey, I'm really busy right now, or I don't think this is working out. Just be honest.
I agree. Honesty is always the best policy. But speaking of texting annoyances, can we talk about voice notes?
Oh my gosh, voice notes. This is a controversial topic.
I love them. Sometimes I'm walking down the street holding a coffee and I can't type, so I just hold the button and talk. It's so much easier for me.
Okay, it is easier for you, but what about the person receiving it? If you send me a 5-minute voice note, Mike, I'm probably not going to listen to it immediately, especially if I'm in public. I don't want everyone on the bus to hear your story about your cat.
That's fair. I guess I never thought about it from that perspective. So what's the rule here? What's the limit?
I'd say keep it under 1 minute. If it's longer than a minute, just call me or break it up into smaller messages. When I see a 5-minute audio file, I just feel overwhelmed. I feel like I need to take notes.
Point taken. I will try to cut down on the podcast length voice notes sent to you personally.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, since we mentioned calling, what about video calls? Since so many people work from home now, video etiquette is huge.
Oh man, the Zoom and Teams era. I have seen some disasters.
Me too. The biggest one has to be the mute button. How many times have you been in a meeting and someone starts talking, but they're on mute, and everyone is shouting, "You're on mute, you're on mute"?
Every single day. But the opposite is worse, when someone forgets to mute themselves. I was in a meeting once and a guy forgot to mute his microphone. He started yelling at his dog because it was chewing on his shoe. Bad dog, drop it. The whole company heard him. No way, that is so embarrassing. It was hilarious, but yeah, very unprofessional. So rule number 1 of video calls, always check your microphone.
And rule number 2, check your background. I mean, you don't need a fancy studio, but maybe don't have a pile of dirty laundry visible behind you.
Right? It just shows a lack of effort. I actually use those blur effects sometimes if my room is a bit messy. It's a lifesaver.
That's a good tip. It's polite to look presentable. You don't have to wear a suit, but maybe don't show up in your pajamas.
Unless you only wear the suit jacket and pajama pants on the bottom. The classic news anchor look.
As long as you don't stand up, you might get away with it.
True. Okay, let's shift gears a little bit. We talked about personal messages and work calls. What about social media? That feels like the Wild West sometimes. There are no rules.
It really does feel chaotic. One thing that really bothers me is tagging.
Tagging? Like when someone links your profile in a photo?
Exactly. Picture this. We go out for dinner, we're eating burgers, I have sauce on my face, my eyes are half closed, and I look terrible. You take a photo and post it on Instagram, tagging me. Now all my friends, my family, and even my boss can see that terrible photo. Ouch. Yeah, I can see why that's annoying. You want to control your image. Right. The rule should be ask before you tag, or at least look at the photo and ask yourself, does my friend look good in this? If the answer is no, don't post it. That's actually really thoughtful. I admit, sometimes I just post the picture where I look good and I don't pay attention to everyone else. That's a bit selfish, isn't it? A little bit, but we all do it. It's human nature. We want to look our best. Another social media thing that drives me up the wall is the vague booking. The what? You know, vague booking. It's when someone posts a status that's really vague and dramatic just to get attention. Like they post, I can't believe people can be so cruel, and nothing else. Oh, I know exactly what you mean. And then 10 people comment, oh no, are you okay? What happened? And the person replies, I don't want to talk about it. Yes, that drives me crazy. If you don't want to talk about it, why did you bring it up on a public platform?
It is definitely attention-seeking behavior. It's bad etiquette because it wastes people's time and emotional energy. If you have a problem, call a friend. Don't broadcast a mystery to the world.
Exactly. It's like crying wolf. Eventually, people will stop asking if you are okay.
Let's talk about something a bit more formal now. Email etiquette. I feel like this is tricky because it depends on who you are writing to.
Definitely. Writing to your best friend is different from writing to your boss.
But even with colleagues, it can be confusing. For example, how do you feel about exclamation marks?
Oh, the exclamation mark. It's a dangerous tool. If I don't use them, I sound angry. If I write thanks with a period, it looks like I'm being passive-aggressive. But if I write thanks, it looks friendly.
I struggle with this so much. I feel like I use too many. I'll look at my email and it's like, hi there, sending you the file. Let me know what you think. Have a great day. I look like a crazy person who is shouting with joy.
You just sound very enthusiastic. But I get it. If you use too many, you might not be taken seriously. It's a balance. I usually try to use 1 or 2 per email, just to show I'm not a robot.
That's a good rule of thumb. 1 or 2 is safe. And what about reply all?
Oh, no. Please, no.
We have to talk about it. The reply all button is the most dangerous button on the keyboard.
It is. I remember once the CEO sent an email to the whole company, like 500 people, wishing everyone a happy holiday. And one person hit reply all to say, thanks, you too.
And then what happened?
Then 10 other people hit reply all to say, stop replying all. And then another 10 people replied to say, please remove me from this thread. It jammed up everyone's inbox for the whole afternoon.
That is a classic digital nightmare. The rule is simple. Only use reply all if everyone on that list actually needs to read your answer. If you are just saying thanks to one person, just reply to that one person.
It sounds so simple, yet people mess it up all the time. I think people just don't look at which button they are clicking. They're in a rush.
Speed is the enemy of etiquette, I think. We are all moving so fast that we forget to be polite or careful.
That's deep, Sarah. Speed is the enemy of etiquette. You should put that on a t-shirt.
Maybe I will. But seriously, taking an extra 5 seconds to read your message before you send it can save you so much trouble.
Absolutely. That brings me to another point, grammar and spelling. How much does it matter in a text or a quick message?
If it's a text to a friend, I don't care if you make typos. We all have fat fingers sometimes. But if you are writing something for work or even a comment on a discussion board, proper spelling helps you get your point across.
I agree. If I see a comment that is written in all capital letters with terrible spelling, I usually just ignore it. I assume the person isn't thinking clearly.
All caps is basically screaming. That is a huge rule of internet etiquette. Never type in all caps unless you are actually screaming in the story you are telling.
Or unless you are my grandmother wishing me a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Mike. Love, Grandma.
Haha, that's actually cute. Grandmas get a free pass. They can break the rules.
True. Grandmas are exempt from digital etiquette laws.
What about emojis? We touched on this earlier. Are they okay in a professional setting now?
I think the landscape is changing. 5 years ago, no way. Now, I think a thumbs up emoji is perfectly fine to acknowledge a message on Slack or Teams. It saves time.
I agree. It's efficient. Instead of typing, okay, I got it, I just react with a thumbs up. But maybe avoid the eggplant or the peach emoji at work.
Definitely. Keep those for your personal life. Context is key. You have to read the room. If your boss is very formal and never uses emojis, you probably shouldn't use them either.
Mirroring is a good strategy. Copy the style of the person you are talking to. If they write long, formal paragraphs, don't reply with K.
Okay, the most hated letter in the alphabet.
It's so dismissive. K just means I don't care. It's a conversation killer.
It really is. Even okay is better. Okay is best. It shows you took the time to type 3 extra letters.
It's the little things that count. You know, we've talked a lot about what not to do. Maybe we should share some positive examples. Like, what is good digital etiquette?
Good idea. I think checking in on people is good etiquette. Like sending a message just to say, hey, I saw this and thought of you, without expecting anything in return.
Yes, that is lovely. It's low pressure. Also, respecting boundaries is huge. If I tell you I'm going on vacation, good etiquette is not texting me about work while I'm on the beach.
Absolutely. We need to respect the right to disconnect. Just because we carry our phones everywhere doesn't mean we have to be available 24/7.
I think that's the hardest part for our generation. We feel guilty if we aren't available, but setting that boundary is actually really healthy.
I'm trying to get better at that. I used to answer work emails at 10 p.m. Now I schedule them to send the next morning.
Oh, that is a great feature. Schedule send. It makes you look professional because you are sending emails at 8 a.m., but you're actually sleeping.
Exactly. Plus, it doesn't stress the other person out. If I send an email at midnight, they might get a notification and wake up. If I schedule it, everyone sleeps peacefully.
That's very considerate. Consideration is really the core of all this, isn't it? Whether it's not replying all, not eating loudly on a Zoom call, or not ghosting, it's just about thinking of the other person.
You hit the nail on the head. Behind every screen is a real person with feelings. It's easy to forget that when we are just looking at pixels.
Speaking of looking at pixels, I have a question about public behavior. You know when you go to a concert
Oh boy, I think I know where this is going.
and everyone has their phone in the air recording the entire concert?
Yes, I am guilty of recording a little bit, maybe a favorite song, but some people record the whole show.
It drives me nuts. You're watching the concert through your screen, and you are blocking the view for the person behind you. That is terrible etiquette.
It is. And let's be honest, are you ever going to watch that shaky, distorted video again?
Never. You never watch it. You just post it on your story to prove you were there.
We are all so vain. But you're right, put the phone down and enjoy the moment. That's probably the best digital etiquette advice. Know when to put the digital device away.
I love that. Be present.
Before we wrap up, I have a funny story about autocorrect, because we can't talk about digital communication without mentioning how our phones betray us.
Oh no, what happened?
So I was texting my mom. She asked me what I wanted for dinner. I wanted to type, I feel like having tacos.
Okay, simple enough.
But I mistyped and autocorrect changed tacos to taxes. So I sent, I feel like having taxes.
That is the weirdest craving ever.
She replied, well, nobody likes taxes, Mike, but we have to pay them. It took me 5 minutes to explain.
Autocorrect is a nightmare sometimes. I once tried to text my boss, sorry for the inconvenience, and it corrected to, sorry for the incontinence.
No way. That is mortifying.
I wanted to die. I had to send a follow-up text immediately screaming, inconvenience! I meant inconvenience!
See, this is why we need to proofread. That 5-second rule we talked about earlier, it would have saved you.
I know. I learned my lesson the hard way.
Well, I think we have covered a lot of ground today, from ghosting to reply all and the dangers of autocorrect.
It's been a really fun conversation. I feel like I need to go apologize to some people for my voice notes now.
And I need to go reply to some texts I've been ignoring for 3 days.
Baby steps, Mike. Baby steps.
So to sum it up for our listeners on Nighttime Mics, be kind, be clear, don't scream in all caps, and please, for the love of everything good, check your mute button.
And treat people online the same way you would treat them in person. If you wouldn't ignore someone standing right in front of you, don't ignore their message.
Perfect. Well, that's all we have time for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We hope you picked up some useful phrases and maybe a few tips to make your digital life a little smoother.
Don't forget to subscribe to Nighttime Mics for more conversations like this. We'll catch you in the next episode.
Bye.
See ya.